Hello and welcome to day 246 of Dungeon 23, the series where we make a room of a mega dungeon every day for a year. In this room here, we have 7 ghouls, apparently trying some sort of ritual, and there is a circle in the center of the room that's obviously demonic, summoning nonsense, and the party could come in and kill the ghouls, no problem. Well, there may be a problem because they could do paralyze and stuff, so it could be tricky. But the circle actually does have some magic on it, and obviously you could just identify it with identify. I think people kind of forget that there's not really such thing as like an item in D&D, just objects. So you could cast identify on like a wall will work. So just cast it on this guy and you could determine that, or also skill checks, whatever you want to do. I don't really have a DC in mind, just a decent religion roll. Or someone who like specializes in conjuration will just know what it is. What it actually does is, if 100 HP worth of undead are killed within the circle, then a Dybbuk is summoned, and it possesses one of the corpses that's in the circle. Now, a Dybbuk is a demon from Jewish mysticism, where it is this. Really, it's just a Jewish poltergeist. In traditional demonology, there isn't very much difference between the demons. The categorization is almost arbitrary to some degree. It's not like in actual D&D where every specific demon does its own specific thing and there's categories. It's kind of loose. Like if you ever read an old book about demons and angels or whatever, angels have like very specific roles. But demons, it's like, yeah, summon this guy. If someone summons this guy, it gives you money or answers questions. Or this guy, he'll give you money or answer questions. Or there's this super powerful demon. If you summon him, he'll answer a question or give you money. And that's basically demonology. It's kind of lame actually, but in D&D, these guys are a lot more unique and set apart because they are basically undead demons. They are just nebulous blobs of demonic. I'm not even sure if they're demons or devils. Probably demons, but they just possess corpses and then make them do gross stuff, and it causes frightening effects. And if the undead is killed that they're possessing, then they just possess a new one. It's that kind of thing. Super creepy. Now, if 230 HP worth of non-undead, fiend, or construct. Basically, if it's not undead, if it's not a fiend, if it's not a construct, and it's killed in the circle, it contributes to the HP pool. If that happens, Barogura will be summoned, and they're basically these big demonic gorillas. They could cast Disguise Self and Invisibility. They have some pretty brutal attacks with punching and biting. And they also have a 50% chance to summon another one of themselves. It's one of those weird things where they have to make the action, and there's a percent chance of it summoning, which I have mixed feelings about because on one hand, the idea of a creature summoning another creature is pretty cool, but on the other hand, it just kind of inflates the challenge rating a bit higher than it needs to be. So what we're probably going to do is just make it so it just summons a regular version of itself. But this specific one has 140 HP, so it has basically twice the HP it normally has. And both these guys, when summoned, are not immediately hostile, but will quickly become hostile if they're not appeased or bound with magic or capitulated with, or basically any kind of deals made. You're gonna make some good persuasion, deception, probably not intimidate unless you're like really, really good at it because they're, demons. But making a deal with them is probably going to bite you in the ass. But the idea of the party accidentally summoning a demon without realizing it in this fight, and then just having to deal with it is really, really funny. And the reason I chose a Dybbuk in a Barogura is because in the 1920s urban fantasy game I ran for like a year and a half, those two demons were minor characters, and they ended up getting in a fight with the party, and the party killed them. Well, kind of killed them. They fought them. They went back to whatever plane of existence they came from. But I don't think they showed up after that because we just had to keep moving things along. One had a gun, but I'm not giving this guy a gun. And yeah, that's basically just some ghouls and some demon summoning. If you want to see more accidental channeling of forbidden powers, then consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting, turn on notifications, all that algorithm stuff so these videos show up in recommendations more often. You could also just come back tomorrow, as is a daily series, but you probably should subscribe because that way you'll know when that other video comes out, the one on comparing Dungeons & Dragons to Call of Cthulhu, which I'm working on and should be out within the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's basically it. So thanks for watching and or listening. I apologize for the poor quality. It's not going to get any better.